I'm about to preheat my oven so we can prep these sweet potatoes. We're going to be baking these sweet potatoes for today's OMAD, so let's preheat the oven.
Girl, I see your face everywhere. When I'm going out, you'll be there. 'Cause everything reminds me of you. I can't take no more. Girl, I think I'm losing my mind. Gotta go to work, but I lost track of time. 'Cause everyone keep looking like you. I can't take no more. I miss your touch from your hands and your body. It hurts so much to think of you as someone else. Can't get enough when you're sweet talking to me. Now I'm talking sweet all by myself. Put your arms around me, put your faith in me, put your love on me. What you need from me, need your love on me, put your love on me. I'ma do everything for you. I don't want anyone but you. Put your arms around me, put your faith in me, put your love on me. Can we stop the clock and rewind? Go back to that moment in time when you say you want me for life.
Welcome back to another video. My name is India, and today we are gonna get into my meal, y'all. I am thinking about doing some stuffed baked sweet potatoes. I've never really done a recipe like this before. It's really only prepping the sweet potatoes, but I'm thinking loaded sweet potatoes with like black beans, corn, maybe some salsa, tomatoes, vegetables, that sort of thing. And so whatever ingredients I find, that's just what we're going with. So I'm looking forward to this meal. Since it takes so long to bake potatoes, I figured I would do like 2 days worth of sweet potatoes. So I'm gonna do 2 at a time. I am going to do 2 today and maybe 2 tomorrow. So I do have them cooking right now. Like tomorrow, I don't know if it's gonna be the same theme, like a loaded sweet potato, but I know I do want to include it with my meal. But today we're gonna do these loaded sweet potatoes. I've been seeing all kind of things on the internet, so I kind of want to put my own spin to it. But let's get into today's OMAD conversation. So someone asked me about discipline and how I'm able to stay so disciplined. Now, this question is actually loaded. I tried to respond, but I'm like, I have to make a video. I even told her that. I'm like, look, I am just going to make you a video because there are so many layers when it comes to discipline. You're talking about discipline, habits, and consistency. They all are tied together. I'm leaving that comment on the screen right now so you can just read it for yourself, but I do want to read something off for you. It's pretty much spot on, and then I'll get into what I have to say about discipline versus habits versus being consistent. Discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't want to, while habits are your default way of doing things. And then you have consistency. A consistency is the ability to do things over time. And so I understand why people ask how other people are so disciplined. When you are on a weight loss journey, a wellness journey, or you're just trying to improve your life, you will need to be disciplined up front, but you cannot bank on that for a lifespan. At some point, you will need to create better habits and new habits. So again, up front, you do need to be disciplined. If you have goals that you are trying to reach, you will need to be disciplined. But the thing is, when you see people on a wellness journey, on a weight loss journey, and they've been doing it long term, over time, some behaviors, they just become automatic to the point where you're not thinking so much of it, to the point where you're not having to lean on being disciplined, because that only lasts for so long. And I get it, being motivated, being disciplined, people all across the web are preaching, you got to be disciplined, you got to be disciplined. But again, that's temporary. You will need habit change. You will need to change your behaviors, especially that's centered around food and moving. So let me kind of back it up and give you some analogies, give you some metaphors on like what discipline is and what it actually looks like. And so you can better understand. And then we'll talk about habit and habit change. Y'all know I've been reading a lot of books centered around habits, habit change, and how really your habits determine your life. So in one of the books I'm reading, and I thought this was one of the perfect examples, they mentioned driving a car and the work it takes for you to learn how to drive a car and how exhausting it can be. All right, imagine backing out of your garage, right? We back out of our driveway, of our garage every day to go to work. We do it on automatic without thinking about it, right? That's just what we do. We'll have coffee in one hand, we'll have our music playing. We just do it. It becomes automatic over time. But when you're someone and you're learning how to drive, you have to think how exhausting that can be, right? You're doing multiple things at once. You have to crank up the engine. You have to put your foot on the brake, look behind, look in the mirrors, check the mirrors, change the mirrors if they're not, where they need to be. You have to watch for traffic. There's a lot that goes into operating a vehicle. But if you're someone and you're new to doing it, it can be overwhelming, like I said, but over time, it becomes habit. Like, you don't even think about it. Sometimes we'll get from point A to point B and we won't even know. Like, we just go there. It's automatic. When you're driving to work, you're not thinking too much about it. So we need to get to a point in our life, if it's diet that you're focused on, if it's moving more, exercising more that you're focused on, we need to get to a point where we're not thinking so much about it, to where we're not having to be so disciplined, right? Going to work every day, this is something we have to do. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of, momentum to get out of bed and actually go to this building, but you go and you do it. That's discipline. A lot of us work full time and we have to go to work. That's discipline, but over time it becomes habit. So you're not thinking so much about it. Yeah, it sucks. Some of us have jobs that we don't like, but over time it's just, it's another day. I'm going to work. It's a part of life. It's a part of your day. Brushing your teeth, right? Brushing your teeth is a lot of work. It's something that needs to be done. I wouldn't say it's so pleasurable to do. And so when you wake up in the morning, one of the first things you do is brush your teeth. The behavior is automatic. And so when you are on your wellness journey, what I can say is do small things. Don't go from the couch to trying to run a marathon and thinking you're going to keep up with running a marathon every day for the rest of your life. That's not how you do things, right? Start with the couch, and then from the couch, maybe stand up and walk in place for 10 minutes, right? You got to make small changes to whereas it's not so dramatic. If you're making these big jumps and these big dramatic changes, they're not going to stick. And the reason I say that is because once you get used to doing that, once you get used to taking these small steps, once it becomes automatic, you can start building on that and adding to it. So if I'm someone and I don't get any steps in whatsoever, again, I'm going to maybe stand up in my house. I'm not going to get a gym membership. I'm not going to go find a track and get all these workout outfits, because I'm not going to stick with that. That's not sustainable. That's too drastic. That's too much. A lot of us, we make these big changes and they will never stick over time because those behaviors will never become automatic. You have to start building these habits. So again, if I'm someone and someone, is asking for my advice to move more, I'm going to tell them, hey, what do you do on a normal basis, like when you get off work, right? And if this person tells me, hey, I just watch a little bit of TV, I watch YouTube, I listen to music, I'm going to tell them to start stacking their habits. So while you're watching your YouTube videos, just stand up. I'm not telling you not to watch your YouTube. I'm not telling you to remove something from your life or to do something just out of the way. But while you're watching your 15-minute YouTube video, get up, just start moving some. It doesn't have to be anything serious. It doesn't have to be some YouTube fitness guru, sweat it out, whatever it is. Just get up, move more, dance to your music. It doesn't have to be too much. And so once you get used to doing that, you're starting to associate you watching your YouTube with you moving a little bit more. So now automatically, every time you watch a little video, you're moving, you're stepping in place, and it becomes something that's automatic. It becomes a habit. So discipline is good. Discipline is great. But over time, you do need to make small changes to where you can start getting used to it, to where it becomes a habit. And so again, there are a lot of things that we do that requires a lot of discipline that we don't think of. It requires a lot of discipline up front, but once you start doing it, it becomes automatic. So yes, be disciplined, figure out a plan that works for you, figure out a way to incorporate your new plan with some of your old habits so you can start stacking your habits. So again, let's talk about teeth brushing, right? Brushing your teeth is automatic. Maybe in the morning when you're brushing your teeth, maybe start stepping in place if your goal is to move more. So I'm not telling you not to brush your teeth. I'm not telling you to go climb a mountain. You're just moving a little bit more to where it's like a little bit more automatic. And so I hope this is making sense to you guys. So you have your discipline, which is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't want to. And then you have your habits. That is the default way of doing things. And then there's consistency, and that's doing it over time. So you need to be disciplined, you need to start building new habits, and then you need to be consistent with those new habits. And of course, once something becomes habit and you're not thinking so much of it, it's going to be a lot easier to be consistent with it. And so with all of that being said, to answer that question from earlier, I actually do consider myself to be a very disciplined person, but I'm not as disciplined as people assume or as people make out. They'll see my success stories, they'll see, where I started versus where I am now, and they just automatically assume that, man, this woman, she goes super hard. She probably is, crazy with her routine. But to be honest, I'm disciplined, but not that much. A lot of what I do right now is just habit. It has become the way that I live. It has become a lifestyle. This is just what I do. And so when you have, fast food versus me preparing my food at home, I'm so used to preparing my food at home to where I'm not really thinking about fast food because this is just how I do. And now it's become, a preference for me. I prefer to eat at home. So whatever your goal is, whether it's diet, exercising, doing more work from home, or, starting your small business, whatever it is, you can apply this to anything. To be completely honest, you can apply it to anything. So keep that in mind, and let's get to this meal. These smell so good. I put them in the oven for about an hour on 450 degrees, and look at that. Like I said, I had prepped a few. So like these would be for tomorrow, and then I have the other two for today. I chose the bigger ones for today since I'm gonna do like the stuffed sweet potatoes. Okay, let me show you what I'm working with so far. Those potatoes look great. I'm excited about that. This is gonna end up looking real messy. Here I have some pico de gallo, some red peppers, corn, black beans. I am going to drain the corn, the black beans. I have the rotel tomatoes. I know that's a lot of tomatoes with like the salsa, but I'm gonna drain those as well. And then I'm gonna build me a salad. I have this bag here, 2 types of cheese, some low-fat mozzarella cheese, and some cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. I don't know what my deal is, but I love this stuff. And then I have some fruits, some watermelon and some blueberries. So we're gonna put everything together and yep. Y'all, while I'm trying to talk to y'all, my baby is all up in my face. Like, why are you like, okay. This is the meal. This is what everything is looking like. This bowl here is 955 calories. There's that bowl of fruit, watermelon, blueberries. That's 152 calories. And then I have this salad here for 471 calories. All in all, the food that you see in the clip is 1,583 calories. This was actually too much for me. I always over prepare my food, but I ended up getting it gone. I have a 7 days of OMAD challenge coming up. You do not have to start this with our community. You can do this whenever you want, but I have that coming up. Pretty much, I will be posting every day, my meals every day for 7 days straight. So if you want more information about that, all that information is on my community page. I'll leave that information on the screen as well. But yeah, guys, join me on that adventure. I would love to have you with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you by any chance made it this far in this video, consider subscribing to my channel. Again, thank you for watching. Good luck on your journeys, and I will see you in the next one.
I've been feeling emotional, thinking about you, babe. What can we focus on? What we should do? Tell me the truth, 'cause I don't wanna see you with somebody else. And I've been feeling lonely in this king-size bed. I'm trying not to